We bring you live and continuing coverage from Cody's bedroom. Christian Gokel coming to you live here on ESPN Radio. Glad to have you alongside as we are now a few days away from Super Bowl 55. We're going to catch up with the man himself, Cody, Freddie Coleman, going to hop on 3 and Out a little bit later to break down the Super Bowl, talk some of the legacy stuff about Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Also going to hear from former Benedictine star, Georgia Tech wide receiver, Brad Stewart, going to hop on a little bit later as well. A lot to get to today on the show. But again, I said it. We're coming to you live from Cody's, I believe, bedroom today, Cody. This is very intimate.
I switched it up. I got a new desk with like a gaming setup, so I switched it up, hanging out in the bedroom. Maybe tomorrow the garage. Maybe in the living room the next day, trying to switch it up. You guys see the whole the whole casa.
Oh yeah, there you go, Cody. I think quarantine. You're in day 2 right now after your child had a close contact. So not only are you in quarantine, but in quarantine with your kids. Day 2, I think it's already getting to you because you sent me the text message as I was preparing the show. Quote, "We doing this?" I mean, yeah, we're doing this. It's the show we do every day at 2:00. Are you okay?
It's the time I get time to myself. I get to lock myself away, and I get to have an hour of just hanging out with my friend, talking to the good folks on the radio and the internet. But right after this, I'm already gonna hear someone. He's touching me. He's being too rough with me. She won't leave me alone. Like, oh man, I just can't wait to get back to that. Yep.
Well, again, Cody having to broadcast from his house, missing out on the Super Bowl. Not to rub salt in the wounds, but I mean, Cody was credentialed in to get down to the Super Bowl. These damn kids, man, just get in the way of everything. But Cody, speaking of close contacts, did you hear what happened to the Chiefs?
Haircuts, baby. Haircuts. Watch out. Watch out with them fades.
That'll get you every time. This is from ESPN and Adam Schefter. The Chiefs had 20 people, including Patrick Mahomes, other players, some staff members. They were in line for a haircut on Sunday. So again, franchise, face of the NFL, Patrick Mahomes in line to get a haircut. That weird kind of like shaved on the side, flipped up thing they have going on that they make fun of in the State Farm commercial, right? Standing in line to get the haircut. Backup center Daniel Kilgore is getting a haircut in the chair when the barber gets a notification that he has tested positive for COVID-19. And some other reports came out actually same day. DeMaurice Smith and the NFLPA said that there were no conversations of delaying the Super Bowl, i.e. if Patrick Mahomes had contracted it or some members of the teams had contracted it, they're playing the Super Bowl no matter what. He was, like 4 or 5 guys back in line from getting a haircut from this guy, Cody, and we'd be talking about Patrick Mahomes in quarantine. But as of right now, we're talking about Demarcus Robinson and the aforementioned Daniel Kilgore. They are on the COVID-19 reserve list right now, and they have to test negative for 5 consecutive days. So starting yesterday, which he did get a negative test yesterday, today, tomorrow, Saturday, and then Super Bowl Sunday if they want to be eligible to play. Of course, the Chiefs are already down their left tackle Fisher in this game. So, man, just you start thinking of all the things did you really need to bring the barber with you to the Super Bowl?
Man, everybody else has got the quarantine cut all messed up.
I've maybe had 2 haircuts in a year.
I don't understand it. Like, why are people so adamant getting haircuts during this thing, especially when you're about to play in the Super Bowl? Like, dude, just let it grow out. It's not that big a deal.
In the NBA bubble, right? Like, they kind of realize, okay, we're going to be here for months, and so we're going to build you a barber shop, and the barber is going to be, we're going to treat him like an NBA staffer, where they're going to be tested as much as the NBA players are tested, and so you'll have a barber on site. I don't know if the Chiefs have even left yet to head down to Tampa, right? And so this is just their barber at home. I got to think, man, you're in the Super Bowl, and like we said, the Players Association have already said that they're not shutting anything down. The Super Bowl is going on no matter who has to miss it. If I'm Andy Reid, all non-essential personnel, sorry, but this is the Super Bowl, right?
No haircuts. Sorry. Like, there's no point to put someone at risk for a fresh fade real quick. And you know that these guys are not going weeks on end without haircuts.
Got to be lined up.
What's that?
When you say you're going to Disney World, you got to be lined up, right?
Oh no, not whenever it comes to trying to win another championship for the Chiefs, dude. You got to realize how easy this thing is spread, and a lot of people are already starting to forget it. Everybody's like, "Oh, the vaccine's coming out, blah blah blah. This is that. It's the last game of the year, and you want to go get a haircut." And lo and behold, the dude who's giving haircuts has COVID. So how about we stop with the haircut, stop with all this, get to business, get on the field. Start putting in work instead of worry about your pretty little self. You know what I mean? I got to look pretty for everybody. I got to do all this. Come on, man.
Cody, when's the last time you got a haircut?
It's been a minute.
Has it? You're looking pretty tight on the sides there.
No, I'm just balding. It's different. No, I remember I let my hair grow for a while. Got a haircut. You came in. I like that style on you. That was a while ago. This is the same style. True. So yeah, it's been a while.
No, now that I'm thinking back on it, I think I've had one haircut through all of this because my hair got long.
Yeah, it did. You were looking very hippie-ish.
Yeah, my hair got long during this, and then what I do is I'm definitely not like a every 2 weeker or a once a weeker with getting a haircut. Right, I usually get it cut real short. And then just let it grow back out, and then get it cut real short again. You treat it like the bushes in the front yard, right? Where it's just like, I'll let them grow until it just becomes unmanageable and the neighbors start complaining, and then I'll trim them down real low so I don't have to do it again for a year, right? So, I mean, maybe one haircut, but again, I don't have the style, right, where you need to put the fresh cuts on it all the time. Some of these guys, Cody, it's every day, every couple days, keeping the fade tight on the side, right? If you're going to have those short haircuts, that takes a lot of maintenance. I've always been one of those people where it's just let it grow a little bit, just let it flow out, and then just lop it all off.
Yeah, and all depends how your style is, like you're saying. So if you're always getting skin fade's got to go. If you're always getting lined up, the lines will start getting all wacky if you don't let it go for more than a week.
Got to do so much stuff during this, right? We've all become professional bakers, right? We're all at home. We're a lot of parents have had to become teachers during this time. I'm imploring everyone out there listening, give yourself haircuts.
Like Kevin?
Send us pictures.
Hey, don't listen to this guy's advice. Do not give yourself haircuts.
If you were thinking about giving yourself bangs, do it.
Bowl cut that bad boy. It's very cold out here. And all those bare freaking skin on their neck right now without having no Mississippi mud flaps are very disappointing. Give yourself a mullet, baby. Give yourself a mullet. If you're thinking about it, do it.
Let it grow out and just cut the sides and you're good.
Just the sides.
It's this style. I mean, Coastal Carolina, you think it's because they had good quarterback play this year that they almost went undefeated? No. Is the Mississippi mud flaps, the Kentucky waterfalls. That
you're obsessed with freaking mullets. I don't understand what the fascination is.
That might be my next style, but no, I like for all the folks out there, you think about scheduling a haircut appointment, just send the money to your barber, but then do it at home and send us pictures. Because I mean, we got to help the folks out who are the stylists, are the barbers, right? But at the same time, I kind of want to see what it looked like with folks out there giving themselves their own haircuts. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I was looking at my barber. I don't think he's struggling that much because he literally doesn't have an opening an appointment. Gary Moore, shout out for like a week. So hey, you don't have to pay him. Just do your own haircut because these people are filling up now. Ever since they started to open it up more and all that, I know from a restaurant servers that I know saying that I thank God business is back to where it's going. But you got to take it serious if you are going to get a haircut. Kind of like what happened with the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Like, thank God they snatched them up real quick. Thank God. Hopefully they're wearing their masks.
They didn't body bag them real quick. They didn't black bag them and get them out of there. Daniel Kilgore told him, he was like, dude, you're already doing it, so just finish.
Really? I heard it was in the middle of a haircut.
Yeah,
they pulled him.
It was during the middle, and the initial reports were that they immediately pulled him out. But Adam Schefter said sources that were inside there said he was just like, I mean, we're already close contacts. We're already in this boat together. Just go ahead and finish this bad boy up. I mean, which
Adam Schefter in his barber report.
I kind of feel that way during a lot of my haircuts where I'm like, this is going terribly, but you're already doing it. So just finish it up and its hair, it'll grow back out. But yeah, Daniel Kilgore.
What's the worst haircut you ever had?
Huh?
What's the worst haircut you ever had?
Probably the buzz cuts my stepdad used to give me in the garage.
Oh yeah, I remember back in the 90s. My mom used to give us at-home mullets. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they're at home, but we had mullets, baby. We had mullets in the early 90s.
That's slick right there. We got a lot to get to today on the show today. We mentioned it. Already down a couple offensive linemen for the Kansas City Chiefs, going up against arguably the best pass rush in the playoffs for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Just a lot of key matchups. We've talked a lot about Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, and those guys. Obviously, that's the huge storyline, right? You got the baby goat versus the goat. Like it's the dominant storyline, but there are so many awesome matchups coming up in the Super Bowl. We'll dive into those, and then one of my favorite things to do, doesn't matter what game it is, we got prop bets coming up as well for the Super Bowl, and we might get a Cam signing here. He is down at the Super Bowl right now in the middle of some interviews. I believe he said he got Tristan Wirfs that we're going to hear from a little bit later as well. So we'll get all of those latest updates coming to you live. ESPN Coastal down in Tampa for Super Bowl 55, and we'll break all of that down for you again. Prop bets coming up a little bit later. Coming up later on 3 and Out, Eastern Tennessee State head coach Randy Sanders gonna swing by. Ben made a great point about him. He coached Tennessee when Tennessee won the national championship with T. Martin, and then he was the offensive coordinator at Florida State when them and Jameis won the national championship. He is the only coach to be a part of the first and last BCS national championships. He's now the head football coach at East Tennessee State. We'll dive into a conversation with him about the upcoming SoCon season. A lot of really excellent football players going to be taking the field, kicking off on February 20th. So we'll dive into that a little bit later as well. Christian Gokel alongside Cody Queen, Cam Ursery down in Tampa covering the Super Bowl. We'll hear from him a little bit later as well, right here on ESPN Radio. just a few days away from Super Bowl 55. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be a fantastic game, back and forth, Cody. I'm feeling like this one is going to be one of those games that comes down to the last 3 or 4 minutes. Really, probably whoever has the ball last, best shot to win the game. But, man, I think a storyline maybe not being talked about enough. The Chiefs are going to be without their left tackle in this football game. And they're going up against what I believe is a very elite pass rushing unit, and a unit that's shown that repeatedly over and over again in the playoffs. Jason Pierre-Paul on one side, a guy who has been there before, been to Super Bowls, and kind of an interesting career arc, right, Cody? He leaves the Giants, has obviously that incident with his hand, comes back, has a resurgence with the Tampa Bay Bucks. On the other side of that, last year's sack leader, Shaq Barrett, coming off the edge. Patrick Mahomes, Cody, is a guy who can really move around nicely in the pocket. I'd say probably just behind Aaron Rodgers in terms of ability to move around and create time while also maintaining his eyes downfield. Those guys are going to be crucial in this game, and it's got to be a big blow for them to not have Fisher at that left tackle spot.
Oh, you got JPP in there causing havoc. He had 9.5 sacks, 2 interceptions this year. He's not really lost a beat ever since he lost some fingers in that tragic freaking firework accident. I don't know what the hell happened, but dude, he's still out there freaking straight up throwing dudes around, straight up getting sacks, getting
with
interceptions.
The smoke visor, right? The smoked visor is just the chef's kiss.
Dude, it reminds me of like the NFL blitz games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the swagger in it. Oh man, it's just so cool. But you're right. Left tackle, Fisher is going to be out, and they are starting a guy. What a lot of people don't know is Mike Remmers. Mike Remmers has been a backup for that team for a while, and apparently he's real good friends with Patrick Mahomes. So hopefully they still have that good connection. Pat go in there, hype him up. Hopefully it gets right. But man, a hell of a time to get your starting going during a Super Bowl against one of the best defensive lines in the league. I wish him luck. Hopefully, it doesn't go upon him losing the Super Bowl because he can't block nobody. I don't think it's going to come to that. I think this offensive line has some depth in it, so I don't think I have to worry too much.
And really, it's going to be strength, right? I mean, KC's offensive line is very good. I think the front seven for Tampa Bay is excellent, right? And Dominican Sue there, Golston next to him playing defensive tackle. We mentioned Shaq Barrett, JPP, and then Levante David and Devin White at the linebacker position is just nasty. But at the same time, it's so hard to slow down Kansas City, Cody, and it's really hard to get pressure on them because of how quickly they get the ball out, right? I mean, we saw it last year in the playoffs, right, where they're before the snap, you have like the entire offensive team, really all 11 guys, like spinning around on Patrick Mahomes' clap and then taking the snap. It's like playing with all 99s across the board if you're Eric Bieniemy. But I do feel like Tampa Bay has something that really Kansas City hasn't seen so far in the playoffs, and that's a team that just hits you in the mouth. I really like that from Devin White, Levante David. Don't know what the secondary health looks like right now because they lost a couple of starters at the safety positions against Green Bay. They were at backups at both of those spots. But everybody on that team, Cody, is going to come up and hit you in the mouth. And so I feel like if they are able to match speed, able to game plan for Kansas City, then they'll be able to fly around a little bit, and maybe on those underneath drag routes to Tyreek Hill, to Mecole Hardman, if you could set the tone in the first quarter where you're laying those dudes out with some of your linebackers and you're not letting Travis Kelce pop wide open over the middle, I feel like that could be a huge momentum boost because I just feel like Patrick Mahomes gets rid of the ball so quick that it's going to be really hard for JPP and Shaq Barrett to get home.
Devin White is the biggest snub in the Pro Bowl this year. Pro Bowl's a joke to me anyways.
It's him and Roquan Smith, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think Devin White's a better player than Roquan, but Roquan takes that's a different conversation. He just takes charge of the defense the same way he did in freaking Georgia. He's the quarterback of the defense on that field.
Had more tackles and I could be wrong, but I think he had more tackles and tackles for loss than all of the All-Pro inside linebackers this year.
Well, there you go. That is also horrible stuff. That's the Pro Bowl, man. It's a popularity contest. It doesn't mean anything. But Devin White on that defense, he's such a young player, taking control of everything, emotioning people, hearing the play change, changing the plays out there. He is the quarterback of the field out there. Tampa Bay defense is a very good defense. I think it's going to play very well against Kansas City, but it doesn't mean Kansas City's not going to put up 30-something points. They would be lucky to hold them to 31 points because everybody else is not holding them that much. They're out there throwing dimes, throwing bombs, running the ball better. But Tampa Bay, to me, overall as a team, has been running the ball better because of Leonard Fournette's been getting a little fire.
Lenny has been so much fun to watch.
He really has, and the team I'm going to roll with is Tampa Bay. But like you're saying, not really because of the offense, though, because of that defense. That defense is so fun to watch. It hits you in the mouth, get back up. They don't get tired either. They play all 4 quarters.
They don't eat your kneecaps, but that's because they're hitting you.
It's because they're not getting knocked down all the time and trying to do some cannibalism, like old boy is saying in freaking Detroit. But this defense is going to be the reason why they win. It's not going to be Tom Brady. It's not going to be all this. Tom Brady last game was not that good. It's going to be just like kind of what happened with Peyton Manning. They have a much better defense, I think, than they do have offense.
Man.
Oh yeah, I do. No, I'm not talking about the 100% equivalent. Like Peyton Manning was atrocious that year.
They drug the corpse of Peyton Manning to a Super Bowl that year, man. Like
atrocious, yeah.
Who was the quarterback that started like half the games that year?
Brock, baby. Big old 6'6" Brock.
Yeah, Brock Osweiler won, I think,
like
half the regular season games that they won. He was the starting quarterback, and then they were just like, all right, Peyton, just stand back here during the playoffs and just let the defense score some touchdowns for you. Tom Brady is much better as a quarterback right now than Peyton Manning was when the Broncos won. Come on.
I'm not saying it's 100% accurate, but I'm saying that the defense is better than the offense. I really think it is. I think the offense is a very good offense, but that's how good I think this defense is.
Because when the offense is clicking, I'd say it's the opposite. I'd say the defense is good, but like when that offense is clicking, it's elite. I've said this before. I think it's the most talented offense outside of maybe the Aaron Hernandez, Rob Gronkowski combo, Algie Crumpler combo that they had with the Patriots, because that offense was pretty sick when he had Randy Moss. But just in terms across the board, right? Mike Evans, you have Scotty Miller's really turned into a great weapon. You have Gronk on this team, Cameron Brate, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones that you can turn around and hand the ball off to. I'd put this offense right up there with any Brady has ever played in. And when it's clicking, it's really hard to stop. But you're right. It's been very up and down.
This defense is not allowed over 30 points since November 9th.
Who are the teams they've played, though?
They played the Saints. They played the Packers.
Freeze, who had like 13 broken ribs. You played Taylor Heineke in the wild card round.
They played the Chiefs.
You played Taylor Heineke in the wild card round.
Okay, well, they played the Chiefs. They played the Rams.
And I hope DJ and Ben aren't listening right now because I'm going to ask this one later. You know who the last team to hold the Chiefs to less than 20 points was? Don't look at your phone. Don't look at your phone. Look at me.
Less than 20 points. Ooh, I'm going to have to go. It's going to be some weird team. It's going to be the Dolphins or something.
The Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, almost as bad.
In week 7, and the Falcons, of course, still found a way to lose that game, 17-14. But the 30-point margin, I think, like if you're giving up more than 30 points, then it should be a concern for your defense. I put it around 24-25 is where you start saying it's a solid defensive performance. Tampa Bay's defense is very good. Their corners worry me and their secondary worries me, but I still find it hard to say that they're better than a Tom Brady-led offense with Mike Evans, right? Like that's hard for me to swallow, but
it's okay. It is a hard pill. I mean, a hard pill to swallow, but you're gonna have to swallow the pill.
I don't know if that's inherently true. Look up for me what the rankings are in terms of just team offense and team defense there, and we'll go with that. But no, they're playing really well. Obviously, they're in the Super Bowl. And we had Zuba Mahinte on yesterday, and he said he thinks the defense is the reason they won the wild card round and the conference championship round. He gave Tom Brady the credit against Drew Brees, but I still think some of the throws Tom Brady was making in the first half against the Packers, you weren't seeing that from the Buccaneers in years past, right? I mean, it's amazing how quickly this storyline changes. last year, or I guess a little more than a year ago, we're talking about Jameis in the 30 for 30 club in this same offense.
I got it. The seventh best offense, sixth best defense.
All right, so it's pretty even. There you go. So we'll give Cody the win on that one. You can hold the dub.
Dab on him.
Yeah, people on the radio can't see you dabbing, so that was a very awkward noise.
That's why I said it.
For everyone listening on the radio there. But again, it's amazing how quickly we flipped the script on this stuff, right? Because Cody, in the middle of the season, you had Tom Brady forgetting what down it was, right? He's holding up. He's like 3, 4, 3, 4.
Yeah, it's Alzheimer's.
We're roasting him. But once they got control, and Bruce Arians has said this, he's like, I had to give up control of the offense to Tom Brady. There's some video out there when it looked like Bruce Arians was wanting to like hurry up and go for it at the end of a quarter, and Tom Brady just walks off the field, right? Like this is now completely Tom Brady's offense, and that's kind of what happened in Denver the year that Manning was. Did he win the MVP the year the Broncos lost to the Seahawks in the Super Bowl? Like where you did that absurd year,
2013. Yep.
Yeah, with Thomas playing tight end. Right, just had that silly year out there in Denver. That's what they did. They were like, listen, Peyton Manning is going to call the plays. It's his offense, and we're going to let him run it. And you saw the kind of year he had. That's really where the season, I think, flipped for Tampa Bay is. Tom, what do you feel comfortable with? And of course, it's the stupid thing that Tom Brady feels comfortable with, right? It's not, I'm going to target Mike Evans 20 times in a game. It's all of a sudden, I'm going to start throwing the ball to running backs 30 times in a game. We're going to start finding Cameron Brate 5-6 times in a game. It's just, death by 1,000 cuts is the way that Tom Brady has operated for so long. And that's why I'm kind of with you, Cody, in this one, not necessarily because of the defense, but just because Tom Brady in this game, I feel so comfortable with him coming in there and just 5, 7, 8 yards at a time, just picking his way down the field. And the best way to defend Patrick Mahomes is to make him stand on the other side of the field. And so I think this one, a lot of folks are saying KC is going to run away with it. I think the favorite right now, playing at home, getting to sleep in their own beds, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But we'll talk about that a little bit more when we come back. We got some prop bets coming up next. This is one of my favorite segments we do, period. You know it, Cody. Degenerate. You can't just ask me to pick the over and under and the spread in the game. I want to know quarter by quarter what the score is going to be. I want to know what heads or tails is going to be. We're going to talk about the national anthem. All of that's coming up next right here on Second Down. As we await the return of Cody to his computer to rejoin us on the show, we again congratulate all of the young men and women around the area who signed to play sports at the next level yesterday. And a big thank you to Mark Granger and Granger Honda for helping us present that to all the students in the area. It's always awesome to see kids that we've known and covered go on to play the next level, and especially at local schools. I know Georgia Southern signing a lot of kids, Savannah State signing a ton of local kids. If you missed any of the coverage, you can head to espncoastal.com. We have roundups from the local high school football players who signed to play the next level. We have interviews with Savannah State head football coach Sean Quinn about his class. Also on our Twitter page and on YouTube as well, we caught up with Brooks Austin from Dogs Daily on SI.com to break down Georgia's 2021 recruiting class. Missed out on Terrion Arnold yesterday. The 5-star safety chose Alabama, which, makes sense because Alabama just signed the best recruiting class in the history of recruiting classes yesterday. So a lot of news there yesterday. Head to espncoastal.com, ESPN's Twitter, Facebook's. We'll have complete coverage for you there. Cody, appreciate you rejoining us here. You're at your house. Figured maybe you'd be a little bit more on it, but maybe the children distracting you. Oh, it's the Bang energy drinks.
No, it is water. I was laying in my bed scrolling through Instagram. I've been on an Instagram kick lately, and I realized
Instagram.
I just pretty much downloaded Instagram again like a week or two ago.
Cody's old, for those of you out there who don't know.
I'm a Twitter guy, man.
I literally just said you're old. You didn't have to say it again.
Twitter's for old people, or is Facebook for old people?
No, Facebook's for lots of people. Twitter is a news source, but Instagram's for the youth, right?
I guess. Hey, if anybody knows, I am a part of this newly single life, and all the girls my age Instagram. So guess who got back on Instagram?
So Cody's thirst trapping on Instagram. If you're interested in that kind of a thing, but
no, I'm not a DM guy. Please don't do that. Please no DM. I get in trouble too, and I don't know being into DMs is a bad thing.
Cody,
what?
My radio show is not your Tinder. Please stop.
No, I don't know. I know Tinder. I'm too old for all that, dude.
Can we get a Super Bowl props? Or
props? Hurry up. Life? It started from me getting water to me doing all that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Super Bowl props. This is one of my favorite things to do. I think it's incredibly interesting because there's just so much that goes on around the Super Bowl. I love it because we were talking about this the other day. I miss Game of Thrones, right? Because we were just always connected, right? Everyone was watching it live. If you weren't watching it live, you better not have gone on social media because you kind of live tweeted, right? The Super Bowl is one of those games where everybody in the world, even if you're not a football fan, everybody's kind of tuned in just for the live social media reactions. And prop bets are one of my favorite things with that. So, Cody, we're going to keep track of these. We're going to compare them to the 3 and out guys because we're going to ask them the same prop bets a little bit later, coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. So we'll dive through these, keep track, and maybe we'll get the winner something nice. And maybe we'll make the loser do something horrible. Who knows? We'll figure it out. But that being said, keeping track of these Super Bowl prop bets coming up for Sunday night. Let's make it easy. Kick it off real easy, Cody. Opening coin toss, heads or tails?
Going heads all day, baby. Always heads.
Tails never fails. That was just the easiest. Will the game be tied after 0-0?
No.
You don't think there's going to be a 10-10, 7-7, 14-14 in there somewhere?
No.
I'm with you. I don't think so. I think it'll still be close, but I think you'll get like 17-14, 21-17, that kind of a deal back and forth. The lead changes a lot. I don't know that it'll be tied. And only one overtime in Super Bowl history, of course, when the Falcons lost. So there you go. Total passing yards by Patrick Mahomes over under 331.5.
No, he's not getting over 300.
I'm with you. I still think he throws for a lot of yards, but 331.5 is a lot. And they're getting a little bit healthier at the running back position. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire could have a big game. and they have some other good backs as well. I'm going to go under that one as well. Over under 7.5 receptions by Travis Kelce.
Over. He's gonna get those little
Really?
slant routes. He's gonna get they always like give him at least one screen a game. He's not gonna go for a whole bunch of yards, but I think he will go for a buck and 7 receptions, around there.
The last time I picked a receiver to go under on one of these was Devonta Smith in the national championship. I think it was over under 7.5 receptions in the game, and I took the under, and he was over that like midway through the second quarter. I'm still going to say under. I think 7 makes sense in this situation. I think 7.5 is a great line. I'm going to go under. Not saying he won't have a bad game, but 7.5 is just a lot for me. I think they're going to get the running backs the ball out of the backfield. I think Tyreek Hill has a big game. I think McCole Hardman has a big game. We go under 7.5. Sticking with the Chiefs, longest reception by Tyreek Hill, over under 27.5 yards.
Going under on that one. I like the cheetah and all, but I am going under. I don't think they're going to be able to pass as good this time. I think Travis is going to be pretty much it. McCole Hardman's going to be all right, but I think they're going to try to lock down the cheetah.
I'm going to go over. I think he's going to break one. It might not be a touchdown, but it's just like he's so fast, right? Anything he catches past 5 yards is probably going to go for more than that. I'm going to take the over on that, whether it's off a screen where he breaks one or when they needed him. What was they call that route? The Hornet route that he ran against San Francisco.
Hornet route, yep.
That big pickup. Something like that. I think Tyreek Hill goes over that. I'm not saying he has a massive game, but I do think he's going to break one in there. All right. Stick with me on this one, Cody, okay?
Sticking.
Who will have more on Sunday? Tom Brady completions or points for Paul George versus the Kings?
Oh, man. All right. What's Paul George's average scoring right now?
You should research that.
I'm going to research it. But I kind of want to go Tom Brady. Right now, I'm going Tom Brady. Now, if Paul George is averaging like 28 points per game right now, like a beast, which I don't think he is, I would go Paul George. But right now, I'm going Tom Brady.
I'm going to go with Paul George. I think Brady has somewhere between like 21 and 24 completions in this game. And I think Paul George on an easy night averages more than that. And it's the Kings. They're fine.
Oh, he goes 24.4 points per game. Hey, Vegas knows what they're doing, man.
Yeah, they sure do.
I'm going Tom Brady. Screw it. I'm going Tom Brady, baby. Let's go.
Cody locking in Tom Brady. They got a few more here. Will either team score 3 times in a row?
No.
I don't think so either. I think this is a really close game. I think it's back and forth. National anthem. This one's important. National anthem.
It's my favorite one.
Over under 1 minute 59 seconds.
Under.
That's usually the way to go.
Yes.
But let me add some facts to it here. You got 2 people singing it this year.
What?
Little duet action.
Who?
Need to look it up. I know Eric Church is one of them.
Really? 2 people? What kind of chaos 2021 we living in? 2 people. Ooh, I don't know.
Jasmine Sullivan and Eric Church will perform.
I'm still going under. The past few years I've gone over, trying to beat a different guy. I'm not doing it this year. I'm going under. So everybody else, if you're picking, you should probably go over because I'm picking under.
The longest one in Super Bowl history was Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
She clocked in at 2 minutes and 35 seconds. But for the most part, it's around that minute 45. But 4 out of the last 6 have gone over.
Really?
I'm going to take the over in this one just because 2 different people are singing it. It's been an interesting year in our country. I think there's going to be some soul in this one. And soul means stretching out the notes. I'm going to take the over.
And Eric Church is on there. He might be getting down on the guitar too, getting a little bit wow wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm taking the over on the national anthem. Here, these are important. These last 3 are important. Mentions of Bill Belichick over under 1.5. That's from the beginning of the game broadcast, so not the pregame shows. from the time the actual game broadcast starts, the two commentators mentions of Bill Belichick over under 1.5.
Going over at least 3. Watch.
I think it's way over.
Yeah, way over.
I think it's way over. All right, sticking with the Tom Brady side of this. Oh, Cody's computer just like flipped down. I don't know what happened there. Appearances from Giselle over under 1.5.
Appearances by Giselle. Oh man.
Just like where the camera pans over to see her celebrating in her private box.
I'm going once. I'm just going once. So I'm going under.
I think over. You got to take the over there because there's a distinct chance that the Buccaneers win this. So you'll have the one at least during the game, and then you'll get the Giselle appearance after the game as well. I think it's well over on this one. And finally, will any scoring drive take less time than the national anthem?
Oh, no.
Really? You don't think there's a quick score there, like a minute and a half drive?
No. No. Nope. Not doing it.
Sounds like your gut's telling you to go the other way.
It is.
I think there's a quick score in there somewhere. I think somebody breaks one. You also got to factor into that one. If there's a turnover, like on someone's half of the field where we got a short field, that could be less than 2 minutes there. So I think absolutely you
stop making me second guess.
You pound the table. You put the mortgage on that one. Love some prop bet. We'll get our picks coming up tomorrow. But I mean, the prop bets are the most important part about picking the Super Bowl. We got more to come. Final segment of Second Down coming up next. Christian Gokel coming to you live here from our ESPN Coastal Studios. Cam Ursery down in Tampa covering the Super Bowl. Gonna have some videos and audio from him up a little bit later on social media. Really excited for Cam to get that opportunity. Cody, last year you got the opportunity to go down and cover your first Super Bowl. Any advice for Cam if he's listening right now, just on spots in Tampa to hit? I know that's your old stomping ground.
Hey, swagger, baby. Go there. Act like you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be there. You deserve it, man. ESPN Coastal is a very big entity now. Whenever me and you first came on, it was much smaller. Now it's really blown up. We deserve to be there. The company needs to be there. Act like you're supposed to be there. Don't be afraid of anything. You're in the same level as the higher up guys. We run all of Southeast Georgia, literally a quarter of a state is what we run. Go out there and act like it. Just have swagger. That's the first thing I had to learn whenever I went last year. If you act like you're not going to be there, no one's going to want to be around you. If you act like you're going to be there, then you're going to be able to get interviews. You're going to be able to get in certain places. You're going to be able to really enjoy yourself and really be a part of the media team.
Acting like you're supposed to be there, Cody, is how you and I almost got arrested at the PGA Championship. So,
oh, good old intern, Christian intern Cody, baby.
That was that usually not the best way to go about it when you're looking for a bathroom and you turn a corner and all of a sudden Jordan Spieth standing on a stage getting interviewed next to you, and you're like, well, maybe if we just stand here and act like we're supposed to be here, we can just keep watching these guys and it'll be totally fine. And then the guy comes over, grabs your press credentials, and he's like, you guys got to get out of here.
Dude, I like took out my phone. I was like, might as well record. And they're like, that guy beeline towards us and was like, hey, you're supposed to be here. And I was like, I got a free house. He's like, I don't care. Get out. And I'm like, oh, okay, bye.
All right, fine. We ain't going to argue with you. Shocking thing about that was just how small the golfers are, right? Like,
oh, yeah.
You watch them on TV and you're like, those are some big dudes. I mean, outside of the homie Brooks Koepka.
Oh, they're all small to you. They're all about the same size
like
as
PJ
me.
out there.
About to say they're all like the same size as me, but less fat. So I was like, you're like, oh, look at me, I'm Mr. 6 foot, and I'm blah 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 blah. Look how tiny these guys are, and I'm like looking at you. I'm like, hey, I'm not tiny, fool. Like, what are you talking about?
It does crack me up because I'm exactly 6 feet tall, and I've had a lot of people say that they're 6 feet tall, and as I'm looking down at them, I'm like, that's interesting because if you're 6 feet, you're
yeah. Which 7-Eleven did you walk out of that told you that? But no, man. But that's one of my fondest memories as being an intern.
That was so much fun.
So fun. Went to Atlanta, came back. They got us a Suburban. We drove back super late. Barely got any sleep. Think we had to work the next morning and everything. And dude, that was sleep is for the weary, dude. We're out there ready to roll.
Yeah, just dominating East Lake and almost getting kicked out. Ate a ton of delightful food, especially cookies. Cookies particularly good.
Hey, Georgia Pacific cookies. Those things are delicious.
Delightful. But again, big show coming up today on 3 and Out. We'll catch up with the man, Freddie Coleman. Really excited to hear from Freddie Coleman, one of the stalwarts of ESPN Radio. Talks the Super Bowl with him. Also going to catch up with former Benedictine wide receiver, former Georgia Tech wide receiver, Brad Stewart as well. And then Eastern Tennessee State head football coach Randy Sanders coming up a little bit later as well. If you miss any portion of the show today, you can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or SoundCloud. Look forward to talking to you all tomorrow as we get ready for the Super Bowl.